not your purview. Just leave that alone. That's fine. Okay. Yeah, and then in terms of the allocation per symbol, um, I think this needs to be almost like a scaling thing. So 25% is a lot, right? Yeah, you're saying you recommend this adaptive per symbol budget. Okay, because the thing is that a small account, the problem with a small account is that, yeah, I guess what you're doing here is it's a floor, right? So it's either 15% of the account value, so a $5,000 account times 15% would be 500, $750, but that's too small to actually buy an options position reasonably. So then you're saying that it should do 1250, which is 25% of 5,000. Is that 25% of 5,000? Yeah, 1250. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. I agree with that change. Yeah, so basically the idea here is that a smaller account will take more risk at the beginning and then lower its risk as the account gets bigger, assuming it gets bigger, right? Right. So presumably, if we had a 68% drawdown, so I guess presumably if we had a 68% drawdown at 25% allocation, then if we lower that to 15%, that's almost half. That'll bring us to like a 30, let's say 40% drawdown. That's still a bit aggressive. I mean, I would go even further down. I'd go to like 12% personally. What do you guys think? Like I think a drawdown of something around 30% seems re more reasonable to me. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I have to agree. 30% is something that you can tolerate, you know.
Yeah.
You won't like it, but it's not like gonna,
30's always been my kind of
yeah.
target to try to get even bots 30 or below.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of been my target as well, just because that's kind of what the S&P 500 does, right?
Mm.
Like an S&P 500 over a 5 to 10 year period, it's going to be around a 35% drawdown. So that's kind of the way I think about it, right? It's like that's kind of in line with what the S&P 500 does over that same time period, right? Yeah, and I think in order to get there, I think we'd have to do like maybe 10% or 11% or 12%. But for a smaller account, you have to have a minimum. Like there's like a minimum size. But you don't want to go so high as the minimum that it's gonna like blow up the account, right? So there's a trade-off, right? Okay. All right. Okay, and then in terms of the game plan, you're saying repair the bot details, key performance, current positions, historical, da da da. Replace the full page warning with a compact amber operational banner. What? What full page warning? Oh, that's the bot details page. Yeah, that's important. Get rid of that full page warning thing. I agree with that. Um, and they're saying fixed snapshot precedence. Current broker snapshot owns da da da. Add explicit freshness timestamps. Okay, sure. They're saying extend performance history independently. Use the healthy broker snapshot pipeline to continue account history even when the strategy code crashes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's why we have those snapshots. That makes sense. I'm wondering whether we should give all that stuff to another agent so that you can focus just on these strategies. If you could explain those three things a bit more, I could give it to another agent and it can kind of fix all this stuff. Then you're saying number four is saying expose real metadata, add revision version. Yeah, same with that, same thing. Any of this like bot details page stuff. Like let's get you to focus on the alpha picks and then we'll have another agent focusing on the UI stuff. Right, and then you're saying repair version 103. into a new revision. That makes sense. Reconstruct runtime objects every invocation. Okay. And then you're saying make rotation, restart safe, determine desired holdings from the current selection criteria, compare against broker positions and orders, sell non-targets, and buy missing targets only after buying power is confirmed. Okay. You're saying fix the alpha pix producer. Um, honestly, don't worry about freshness. Like you should not be paying attention to freshness. That is irrelevant. Okay. It should not matter. If this API says this is where it's at, then own that. You know, the freshness thing is a separate issue that I'll work on in a different way. Don't worry about freshness. That is actually bad. I don't like it. The fact that it was not fresh, so it just doesn't trade anything. That's so stupid. That like actively introduced a bug. You tried to reduce it, you tried to get rid of bugs, and you introduced a bug in doing that. All right. So I don't think you should work on number one, two, three, or four. You should give me something that could give to another agent to explain what it needs to do for those. Um, I kind of agree with your number five, but I still don't think it's enough, right? Um, and Alpha Pix producer, I disagree with your number seven. Like I would get rid of that guard completely. I hate it when you add guards like that. It's not a good idea, right? And then we should run these new back tests. This I agree with, right? And it's saying run isolated scheduled paper proof. No, what do you, no, I want to just run this thing. I want this thing to work. And then he's saying prevent another stale revision regression, make file edit tools require the latest revision ID plus an edit rationale. Yeah, I don't know about this game plan. A lot of this stuff needs to be changed. So please give me a better game plan. Tell me what I should give to his other agent, and let's talk about like actually how we're going to fix this properly. I disagree with a lot of your game plan. And let me answer your questions here. Your first question is what drawdown target should guide the $100,000 sizing test? I recommend I would go for 30% or less, not 40%. And then your second question is for the $5,000 account, should the strategy select the next ranked affordable eligible pick when one of the literal top two is unaffordable? Yes, don't we already have that? I thought that was already built in. Then your third question is, should performance history follow the same strategy and verified broker account across revision and credential replacements or restart for every deployment? What? Yeah, it definitely should. Isn't that already working? I thought that that was already the case. So why are you talking about number three? Is that broken in some sense or what? Okay, so please go off and do your research in detail. Come back to me with a very well-researched and detailed game plan with all the stuff that you are going to work on, and also let me know what I should give to the other agent to work on. And then let me know what other questions you still have for me. And for the other agent, I expect a handoff file for the other agent. Or at least actually maybe not a whole handoff file. I don't think we really need that, but at least like a paragraph of like all the technical details for each of these things that you wanted to do. Okay, and then I want to see your game plan that's very well researched with a lot of detail behind it. And then please let me know what other questions you have for me, because I'm sure you have more questions for me. Okay, so I'll let that roll. And then this is the one that's going to be working on this stuff. Let's see what this is. Okay, so can you give me the full and detailed game plan around everything? And then another agent, I was working with the alpha picks only calls failing strategy. That task, if you want to read what we've been talking about there, you can do that the last like turn or two. But basically, I think we need to add these items to the list as well. So I want to see the full list with everything, including these items here. And then let me know what is the full and detailed game plan that you think we should do, and what questions do you have for me? Okay, we got that going. The AI trading team is still running. Ray Dalio, okay, this is good. That's actually going. Wait, why did it get reverted? Why, how did this get reverted? We fixed it and then it got broken again. Please explain to me what happened. Oh, 4 minutes later. Okay. Insert live store history URL containing an encrypted sealed token. Okay, so is this now fixed? I'm gonna refresh the page on GitHub. I still don't see it on GitHub. This is not fixed. All right, so we got that going. And then where is our poly market? So it's still going through all the poly market stuff. Okay, so it's going around this. I found a real yes position. But a screenshot shows exactly remaining on the website. I'm now checking whether those. Okay, 2 withdrawals are not explained by the saved implementation record. There's a material constraint around the wallet UI mismatch. Polymarket's current official rules list Ontario's close only on both the front end and API. Since the machine is in Toronto, a new buy may now be rejected even though the same credentials traded successfully. We can use a VPN if we need to, by the way. That's how we traded this, I think, in the first place. I don't know if we need to do that when we're doing all the crypto stuff, but we could use a VPN if necessary, just to let you know. Okay, so let that know. We got all these other ones running right now. Okay, so we got all these agents running right now. They're all taking some time. Okay, so I guess since these things are all running, why don't we take a quick break? Because it's going to take a couple minutes for them to finish anyways, and then we'll come back and continue, right? Okay, I'll see you guys back here in a few minutes.